There we go. All right, now that we've gotten going, welcome to Octopath Traveler. If you've never seen this game before, it has cutscene skip. That is perhaps the most important thing to note about the speedrun. It is really quick because you're pretty much just playing the game. You never have to worry about waiting for cutscenes. You never have to worry about lots of dialogue. Just play the game. The goal of this run is to finish Ophilia's chapter, which is the end of her chapter 4, and which gets to the end credits because she's the one you picked first. Doing this, they will gather either 3 or 4 total characters. I believe Xeno does a 3-character route. I don't know what route NeoSlash does. There are a number of routes for this. So to start off, Ophilia has our path action, as it's called Guide, which will allow her to basically lead people. Right here, you'll see Xeno will be getting what is called the Tavern Patron. He will be very helpful in the first 2 bosses. He's pretty much needed for speed, basically. He has a very powerful wind attack that helps both break and just do damage. The battle system in this game, if you don't know, is based on a concept of breaking and boosting. Breaking means killing all the enemy's weaknesses until they are stunned effectively, while boosting allows you to store up charges for higher power or more attacks. And you'll see them grabbing the quartz rod, which is simply extra elemental damage. Simple enough. More attack power equals more damage. So coming up in this first dungeon, you'll notice Xeno is actually walking. And what walking does is it'll reduce the encounter rate. So he's going to try and get a single encounter instead of 2 here. And you'll notice he attacks the spear guy to break him. And if you break an enemy, all enemies on the screen, you get a 100% flee rate. Otherwise, it's a crapshoot. And while it's a little slower, it is safer. As you can see, since Neo got only 1 encounter as well, his running paid off and it allowed him to catch up. But he could have gotten the 2nd encounter there, which would have severely slowed him down. This next screen, you almost only get 1 encounter, but 2 is possible. So you probably just want to run through it. It looks like they got it up at the same time. They're pretty much synced right now, which is not really hugely weird at this point. Coming up on the boss, called the Guardian. Also, notice that Xeno is playing with English voices. In general, Japanese voices are slightly faster because time doesn't start in battle until the voice chant is finished. However, in a single story speedrun, especially anything that isn't old brick, it doesn't matter all that much. As you can see on Neo's side, he got the 3 wins first off, whereas Xeno is having not great luck. He not only didn't get the wins right away, he got smashed with a couple hits and had to heal. But they both broke at the same time. The goal is to basically break the enemy and then do a large, full BP boost Holy Light. Then on the 2nd break, that pretty much usually will kill. Neither of them, interestingly enough, did enough damage for the Guardian to summon the Wisp friend. Okay, there's Neo's summon, and there's Xeno's summon. Usually that will summon after the 1st break, but yeah, you have to do enough damage to it to actually have it summoned. Looks like Neo's getting pretty good luck, but Xeno's coming in right behind. They both should finish off in the next few seconds. There it is. Xeno's done, and Neo's done. Let's see. Xeno got the Soulstone drop. Looks like they both got the Soulstone drop, which is good. That saves a very little bit of time later. Few seconds and possibly a battle if unlucky. It's not a huge issue. It's very easy to make up, but it can save the time. Provided that you, as the runner, notice it. That is perhaps a big character issues. So now they're going to go over to Atlas Dam, which is going to be where Cyrus is. And Cyrus tends to be a relatively staple character in single story speedruns because his class, his job, the Scholar, has what is perhaps one of the two absolute most important abilities in any Octopath speedrun. And that is evasive maneuvers, which basically lowers the encounter rate by 2.5 and allows you to get through many screens without any battles at all, including a lot of high-level screens, allowing to pick up gear and money really quick. So as you can see, bad run luck simply allowed Neo to get ahead. But again, in this early stage, there's no real nothing to really worry about here. It's all RNG at the moment. They're both just basically going through the motions of the early game with no problem. Neo chooses, both of them choosing to break the enemy here in Atlas Dam. Usually I, for one, will just run from the Atlas Dam enemies, but because you're already a little level higher than the level 1, so you have a far more likely chance to run at this point once you finish off the first chapter. But, you know, it's all up to runner choice. You save the time by attempting to run when then possibly not being able to flee, or do you go the safe route, taking the 100% guaranteed few extra seconds? You always have to weigh your options in this speedrun. Neo getting to Atlas Dam first. I'm going to switch the audio since he's already slightly significantly ahead now. Alright, now he's grabbing Cyrus. Cyrus's path action is to scrutinize, which basically will grab info from other characters. Sometimes this will reveal a hidden item, sometimes this will do something to change the way the town works, and we'll see that one later. But right now he's just grabbing a couple hidden items, a small light soulstone and a medium light soulstone. Now soulstones are also very important to the run because they do 100% fixed damage, no matter how powerful you are. A medium soulstone is only going to do about 200 unbroken and 400 broken, but even that is pretty good in these Chapter 1 battles. The medium soulstone, however, does 1100 unbroken and 2200 broken, and at this early level, that's incredibly powerful. So just going over to the study now to fight Cyrus's Chapter 1 boss, Russell. They need to get, ideally, 2 Sentinel battles here. There's a couple other possibilities, but ideally you want an Ice or a Fire Sentinel. You can sometimes kill them in one attack, which is 1 turn, but either way, you'll get 5 JP if you kill them on the second turn. You want 10 JP so that you can, eventually you'll have 30 JP after Russell, and you need that 30 JP. You don't want to see skeletons and you don't want to see bats. Xeno actually getting really good luck, except that he got to skeleton. I was going to say he got really good luck and actually was able to do a 1 encounter before Russell. Obviously not ideal in this situation. Xeno managed to save it. He got the first turn kill, which gives a bonus JP. So he should be good to get the 30 after Russell. They both got the soul stone, so they didn't have to pick it up. Now, breaking Russell, he has his Wisp friends. So they're gonna have Cyrus cast fire to break the Wisps, and Ophilia is gonna concentrate on breaking Russell himself. Russell can be a little tricky. He can give you bad RNG. For instance, yesterday my Cyrus died simply by virtue of them all concentrating on him. It happens, not much you can do. He's very easy to recover from, however. You're not likely to party wipe. Usually you'll take 1 soul stone while the wisps are broken, and then max icy wind should kill, and there it is. If you get really lucky, you can have Russell broken before you toss the soul stone.
これでもどうぞ。
But neither of these players got
それで
that.
やはっ
さあ、本気を出す炎よ。燃えろ。あっ、炎よ。燃えろ。
As you notice, Neo is playing with Japanese voices. Again, not a huge difference. In general, Japanese is faster, but the amount on a single one is maybe 2 seconds at the most. Especially, you know, Ophilia run, it's not going to be a big deal.
負けません
Looks like they still have a little bit more to finish it off. I think Neo's going to get him. No?
負けません
Alright, he's broken again.
あっ、炎よ。燃えろ。
Ooh. If I remember, he had something like
行きます光よ
2904 damage. I don't remember the exact amount. It's a decent
戦い
amount.
はやはり苦手です
Alright, so Neo now is done with Russell as a Xeno. They're going to now, at some point before they leave town, most likely, learn skills Luminescence and Lightning Blast. This will allow the upcoming short grind section, hopefully short grind section, to be much easier. Luminescence is actually optional. It's mainly for safety if you don't get an optimal Whistlewood. Lightning Blast is also for safety, but you're going to need an ability no matter what, and Lightning Blast is best choice right now. So that in case you get the Howler battle, you can break them, because you need to break them to kill them with a medium Solstice. So then that is what they're doing. They're going to Whistlewood, and they're going to look for a battle that can give Cyrus a total of 100 more JP. Basically, there are 3 battles, and none of them are the most common. That will give him that JP. You can either get, well, it's more than that, but in general, you can get bugs and frogs, all bugs, or howlers. You can also get a cave, and that would work too. And as you can see, both runners are choosing to kill the encounters outside Whistlewood, which simply will speed up things later if they don't get the bug encounters or the howlers. I did that the other day, and I ended up getting bugs. So, you know, sometimes you'll lose time doing that. If I had done it yesterday, I would have gained time. So it's all good. Here's the 3 ants. That's actually the best outside Whistlewood encounter. Now, Neo just got 4 frogs, which is unfortunate. I'm actually unsure if it's the worst or second worst encounter, but thankfully Neo did not get surprised. That is a big issue in Whistlewood as well, is you're in the level 15 area, but you're only at level like 3 and 4. You have a big chance of getting surprised. Thankfully, it's not as huge a deal in Ophilia as in, say, Cyrus alone, but it can happen still a decent amount. Neo is now going to head up to Noble Court. I guess he's either doing the Therian route or he's doing a 3-character route. I'm so unsure. Xeno got the Howlers, which is one of the best battles. As long as they don't kill him, which unfortunately they did. There's nothing you can do, it happens. Get surprised, you're usually dead. Not 100%, but usually. He's just gonna have to try again until he gets it. That's all there is to it. Since Neo got the bad battle in Whistlewood, he has to finish his grinding out here and get to 100 points. Okay, this is the second worst encounter, I believe. And Neo did get a chance to kill it, so that's good. Sorry, Xeno did. Now, as you can see, Neo has to stand around here and just wait for enemies to come to him, because there's just no way to kill the level 17 enemy out in the next screen. You're just not going to be able to safely kill it. So you pretty much, with this route, just have to deal with waiting around. Xeno's probably going to have the same issue. I'm not sure how much JP they need. Looks like Neo got his enough JP. Oh! That's interesting. I guess Xeno had enough JP from killing the ants and all before, so Xeno's now ahead, up by a very small amount. They're both going to Noble Court. I'm guessing they might be both doing the 3-character inhibit route. That would be my guess. I am actually unsure of what routes they use. Going to pick up this medium soulstone over here. Neo foregoing that. Oh, and Xeno's going up to Purgation to grab a large soulstone and possibly the Tempest Amulet, which will basically be for safety money, I assume. If he grabs it. Neo, on the other hand, just heading right down to Ripple-Tide. And getting the unfortunate really early encounter on this screen. That's actually pretty rare, I think. Unless he forgot to... No, he didn't forget to send evasive. That's interesting. That's a pretty rare encounter, I believe, to get it on this screen. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the second screen. No, that's a normal encounter, but you can make it. It's just one of those. You're gonna get it sometimes. You're not gonna get it other times. It happens. It is what it is. This screen as well that Neo's on, that's another one that'll just happen. There it is. You just have to roll with it. Sometimes you get good encounter luck, sometimes you don't. Even in a short run like this, it tends to add up that you'll get the good, you'll get a relatively similar encounter luck. It's just which encounters you get that are going to decide if you got screwed or not. Because, for instance, these are usually pretty easy to run from. And even if you don't, they're not that dangerous. But later on, there are some encounters if you get, you're going to die. That's all there is to it. So they're tagging Ripple-Tide now. Xeno is actually going to get Tressa now. Now that's interesting. I have no clue what it does. I've only seen the 3-character runs watching the races. Neo is doing what I believe is the 3-character route. I have no clue what Xeno's doing.
Yep.
Game audio is high. I am not sure how to fix that. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Oh, it is high. Alright. I'm so sorry, I hit the wrong... Okay, yeah, that was my typo. That was on me. I completely apologize. There, that should be good. Unfortunately, at this point, it's impossible to tell who's ahead. Neo was out of Whistlewood first, so we'll assume he's ahead. He's going to go all the way to the Merchant Shrine now, doing the first use of the Save and Trick Quit, which is basically it means that you quit the game to reset the step encounter. Xeno now is going to approach Mick and Mac, and I don't believe he has a wind out. Wait, is it a wind out in Purgation? I'm not sure, actually. If he has a wind owl, that'll kill him immediately. Otherwise, he'll have to use a light owl and I believe an end stone of some sort. Yeah, so I guess that wasn't a wind owl in there. So he's just going to kill them. Really easy. In pretty much any single story route, your second, your third, and if you're doing it a fourth, bosses are just going to be toss a soulstone or two and they're dead. It's always nice there. Especially if you played casually, do you remember how much trouble they probably gave you the first time you played? It's like, ha 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 ha. Neo grabbing the Merchant Shrine, which is very important because it has hired help, which is the second extremely important ability for any speedrun, although the longer speedruns it does fall out of favor later, but it's still important. In a single story speedrun, without hired help, you pretty much take 2.5 times as long. tagging gold short here. Gonna scrutinize this guy for an L-stone and grabbing it. Sometimes you'll leave this L-stone for later. Sometimes you won't even scrutinize till later because it's often rooted in as a backup. It's a really easy one to pick, and so it's a good backup because you don't need it. You're coming back to gold shore anyway as part of Ophilia's Chapter 3. Neo now heading over to Grand Port, and this area could be a little sketchy. Sometimes you'll get a battle on either this screen or the next one, and you'll die. There's just not much you can do. Neo making it through, though. He's going to pick up this Windell here, which I'm guessing Xeno is going to pick up and just kill Mick and Mac with that. As you can see, he then goes back and resets the step counter, and since you're coming back here anyway, it's very easy to pick up this M-stone here. Xeno is probably heading over to the Merchant Shrine now. Yeah. Whereas Neo's coming over to this 20,000 chest, which is good because we need a lot of money in this speedrun to do hired help. Here's another save and quit, and then this next one, it's another one that can screw. I believe yesterday my opponent got 2 times he got this next encounter. Unfortunate. It's again, it's just long enough that RNG will say sometimes, nope, not today. You're not. But you just have to press on. There's literally nothing we can do to change it if you want that L-stone. And Neo getting it just fine, though. And let's see what he does from here. Alright, he's actually going to go get Tressa now. So they might have just done slightly different. Xeno might have just wanted to get Tressa for the extra money now. With the sacrifice of not being able to kill Mick and Mac quite as fast, which is, in my opinion, probably not a bad thing because you get the extra money. Tressa, her what is called talent is Eye for Money, which will basically just give you money as you run through screens with Danger Zone. You can see on the screen every time you transition, Tressa found for X amount of money from a lost soul or whatever it says. So Xeno's coming up to Gold Shore here. This not a problem. Always going to get that one. So yeah, some screens you're always going to get. As long as your movement's normal, you're just not going to get an encounter. I would say Gold Shore one is one of them. The second half of Gold Shore, as I said earlier. Okay, so Xeno is grabbing this side quest here.
Yes.
Or he's scrutinizing to fulfill a side quest later called a safe route. I believe in this route, it's just as a safety measure for later in case he's down money. It gives you 11k, which is, you know, potentially a difference between having enough and not having enough by a lot. Xeno also grabbing these soul stones while Neo's continuing on into Tressa. Hopefully Xeno will also get good Grand Port luck. I want to say it's maybe a good, decent 75% chance that you won't get an encounter on either of these screens, but, you know, if it happens, it happens. And you'll see on Neo's side, because both Mick and Mac are weak to wind, they're just going to die in a wind soulstone. Because if you're weak to an element or a weapon, you're going to take 1.3, I believe, is the amount of damage as normal. And so that's just enough to kill them, whereas it's not enough if they're not weak. Xeno coming up to Grand Port here, making it through just fine. So far, no really problematic encounters except for the one death in Whistlewood. Xeno looks like he's going to go over to the Lock of the Lost King, which we can grab another L-stone and some money. I think it's 30,000. Neo, on the other hand, is teleport to Ripple Tide is probably going to go right to Saints Bridge. That is my guess. But we'll see. Yeah, he's headed over in that direction. Not going to take a detour to Runeblade or anything. Whereas Xeno is just behind. I'd say they're pretty synced up now. Neo being a little bit ahead. They both have their 3 characters. They're not going to be getting another one. Most single story routes until recently have pretty much all been 4 character routes. It's only relatively recently that 3 character routes started coming into popularity, and with people noticing, hey, these routes are faster because you're not doing the 4th character. Both not just grabbing them, but also less actions in battle make things faster too. But as a whole, they do tend to be a little bit more dangerous, just because, you know, with 3 characters, you can't control the battle quite as well. So Neo heading over to Saints Bridge, which is Ophilia's Chapter 2 town. No encounter on that screen. That's another one that'll just happen. Not too common, but again, it's not a big deal. This screen, however, is one maybe, you know, 20-25% of the time you're going to get an encounter. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Sorry, my stream paused for a minute. But Neo got through it as well. Neo's having fantastic luck, actually, with encounters, I want to say. So he's just going to start Chapter 2 here. Again, get cuts tips is such a blessing. I don't think this speedrun community would be nearly as big if we had to sit through cutscenes all the time. Interestingly, not picking up a Shadow Soulstone there from that guy. I don't know if he's going to purchase it later, because you'll come back right there later. He also didn't do the guide, or the scrutinize. Oh, okay, so he's going... Oh, he's going to get Therian. That's interesting. Because this isn't... don't think this is quite the same route that I've done when I've done the Therian route, and it didn't quite look the same to me, but maybe, I don't know. It's been a while since I actually did a route, so maybe he did the standard Therian route. Well, it's recent standard, but yeah, he's going to get Therian, which will mitigate some RNG. Unfortunately, it's also the slowest normal route that we have, so it is good. Xeno is probably going to get quite a ways ahead here, as long as he doesn't run into anything too problematic, which it can happen. There's a couple things that can happen. For instance, an upcoming Scrutinize, you have a 30% chance, and if you keep failing it, not too like you'll keep failing it, but that can definitely set you back some time. He might be just resetting the here just to get the autosave so he doesn't have to. Yeah, that's what he's doing. So what Xeno did there is he went out and back to grab the autosave, so if he does fail this, instead of having to pay money, he'll just reset the game, and so it's a little bit of a safety measure. It's not a huge difference. It's a little bit of extra time, but it's a safety. He didn't need it. With 30%, I think the amount is something like a 29% chance you'll fail all 5. So it's not huge, but it's still a decent amount. As you can see, Xeno's already going to the dungeon here, while NeoSlash still has to pick up his 4th character. Yeah, okay, I'm going to switch the audio again. Alright, so Xeno's off to Trail to the Murkward. This is another screen where you'll just get a battle sometimes, other times you won't. In this case, however, they do have an extra soul stone, at least one, rooted in, just to be able to kill this battle. And it doesn't hurt. It gives you a little bit of extra hit point leeway in case you might need it later, but he did not get it. So he's just going to save and quit here. NeoSlash is doing the same, and Therian's Manson. You can YOLO it. It's, you know, it's one of those things that it's faster if you don't save and quit. But if you get the encounter and can't run away, it's probably slow. Right? So it's one of those up to you decisions. Most people do take the save and quit in Therian's, especially with 4 characters. But Heath Code here is going to go down with a couple soul stones as well. No problems at all. Meanwhile, Xenosync's going to get an encounter here. This is just too long if you don't save and quit. I believe old routes sometimes took the encounter outside. If they got the encounter outside, would not take the one in here. But I've never seen anyone do that. So I think pretty much everyone takes the encounter in here regardless. They just die to a large soul stone, no problem. And as you can see, Heathcote's dead right there. And Therion, his importance is going to be that he has armor corrosive. And what armor corrosive does is allows any physical damage to do 1.5 the damage. And this includes the damage from hired help. So since hired help is already so powerful, multiplying by 1.5 is just that much more powerful. And you need it. And with Therion, you're guaranteed the armor corrosive instead of what Xeno's going to be using later. Not for this battle, though. In this battle, he's just going to have to toss a couple extra Alpha Pulsars to make up the damage. Not a huge deal. It's a relatively safe battle as long as you just do what you're supposed to. I don't think you can die as long as you do follow the script correctly. You might have a couple issues with missing, but it's very rare to miss on this boss, I believe.
I'll not be defeated. Here I go.
So, Xeno just going through the wolf, and I am not going to even pick the and to pronounce its name. It's, I don't even remember, it's H something. There, Neo, though, and going to Purgation, and he's going to use Therian's Talon, which is opening purple chest, to grab this forbidden dagger here. Plus, it just happens to also have a nice 30k lying around. Then he's going to go to Grandport and do some Grandport stuff. No, he's going to Lock now, okay. Xeno, on the other hand, finishing up Wolfie Boy. Easy peasy. No problems there, as expected. Then just going to finish up Ophilia 2 here. Neo grabbing the Soul Stone and the money from Locke. Yeah, so Neo choosing to buy later, it's not a bad idea if you don't need the Soul Stone, because with the slightly extra level, you have a very slight extra chance of getting the Trusted Discount. It's not going to be, I want to say, maybe 1 out of every 10 runs. It might be a factor. Whereas Neo is going to do the Scrutinize here, and in the Therian route, it's nice that the Scrutinize autosave is rooted in, so, which isn't a thing. I'm not sure what he's doing with this Scrut. There's another hidden item there that he's getting. I've never seen that one. So, this is Ophilia Chapter 3. I'm assuming he's going to go back to the Saints Bridge after the cutscene part of this. Okay, he just turned in the safe route for the money. Neo finishing up. He got the Scoot, no problem. Neo finishing up the Chapter 2 cutscenes. Xeno grabbing some stuff, mostly pomegranates. Those are important. So yeah, as you can see, the difference between the Therian route and the 3-character route is just quite a lot right now. But, at the same time, Neo will pretty much have, not a guaranteed, but it's pretty much a 7 in 8 chance you're going to finish up the final boss with no problem. Whereas Xeno has a much less chance of having a smooth final boss. So an interesting thing about Ophilia's Chapter 3 is when you're trying to go to the dungeon, it's quite a distance away. So you're going to have something rooted in. In this case, Xeno's doing his Grandport shopping now. He's going to get an unerring earring, I believe it's called, which will increase his hit rate. It basically was for safety so that you don't miss. It can still miss, but it's pretty rare. An ability called Spearhead is mostly what you need it for. And then he's going to pick up a couple more palms as well as a couple treasures and some money. Treasures are basically items you can sell for money, so they're effectively money. A little bit of, flavor is really all it is. It's nothing wrong with that. I like it. It gives the game character. So Neo doing some menuing here. Gonna give hired help to Ophilia and Tressa. Xeno is going to now do some shopping. He's going to grab, I assume 8 empowering bracelets. Oh, 7? 6? Huh. As well as, looks like a charm road for Cyrus. Because Cyrus is a bit squishy, he needs a charm road to survive. Oh, he already had a bracelet on someone. Oh, 6, because he only has 3 characters. I'm dumb. And now he's going to guide what's called the Warrior Wart. And Warrior Wart has an ability called Inhibit Defense. Like any guide or a Lord NPC, they have a chance of using it, but it's not 100%. It depends how many abilities they have. If they have 2, like the Winds Guy, it's a 50% chance. If they have 3, then it's a 33% chance. I forget about Warrior Wart's loadout. I think he has 3. But basically, Inhibit Defense will do a full party on the enemy, lowered defense of both defense and elemental defense. We're concerned about the defense, but again, it's RNG, so you have to rely on it. Whereas Neo is going to have the 100% from Therian, but as you can see, picking up Therian just took that much longer. Now, this screen, you're definitely going to want to save and quit because you have no real good way of killing these battles. I don't think even a large soul stone could do it unless you hit all the weaknesses at once. And they can surprise you. It's just rule. You don't want to get into a battle in this dungeon. Thankfully, Xeno managed to not get the battle in the previous screen, which is, again, it can happen. We've seen it a couple times in the tournament. It's annoying. You can usually survive that one and break the enemies if you know how, but it takes up forever. And looks like Xeno's going to safety save here, which is a smart decision since, once again, even with the unerring bracelet, things can miss. It can go sideways here. And these guys will wreck you if they're left alive, unfortunately.
I'll do my best.
As you can see, Neo grabbing the bracelets as well, and he's going to start Chapter 3. Okay, so Warrior Wart got the inhibit first turn, which I assume means the battle's free at this point, as long as everything hits. Doing the Bandit, which does Axe, which is one of the breaks at the top of Mystery Man here. And Spear is the other, and he breaks it no problem. Again, this battle can be a little iffy in this route.
I'll do my best. No, you will not.
You'll always survive that, and then he'll always do this healing on this turn. That's always going to happen. So it's relatively safe since you can hire help mercenaries, break the other one. And then Tesla's going to bring out the big guns here with another hired help head. And then, I assume, and then one more soul stone should kill him. And dead. Easy peasy. Oh, guess not.
Thank you.
Oh, I see. He did. Okay, so you delayed to get the collect. I forgot about that. All right, and this will kill him though. Yeah.
I hope I grow more again.
Yeah, the collect's just for extra money. Since you're down a little from other reasons. For instance, the route I use goes to the Shrine of the Runeblade, which gets a 50k chest. Obviously, 50k is a huge amount, and you have to make that up somewhere. Okay, so Xeno finishing off his chapter 3 while Neo does his shopping at Port. Again, just getting a couple palms. Maybe this healing grape bunch? No? Alright. I'm going to guess Neo's following the notes, which does not get the bunch. The other route does. It's not really needed, it's just safety's sake. Alright, so now heading up to chapter 4, we're going to warp to Noble Court. Now the walk to chapter 4 is one of those cases. You are 100%, no matter what, once again, going to get a battle, and this is what is called the Plains Drakes. They're little dragon things. They're going to show up. Thankfully, it's always the same encounter. Some screens will have the same encounter every time. Sometimes some screens won't, and who knows why that is. That's the depths. So he gets that. They can be broken by spears or bows. And even being caught by surprise is usually not a big deal, since they'll just do this lower defense stuff. As you can see. The Unerring Bracelet will certainly help here. 1,000 spears, which Cyrus used, will hit 3 times no matter what. But it's who will do it. Yeah, he's unfortunately getting pretty bad luck here with missing. One more chance with Tressa here to break. Oh, he's gonna have to. He could have broken tried to break with Tressa and then. Because it doesn't matter if Cyrus is dead, he can heal him after, because we're not killing this battle. Oh, ooh, this is not going well. I think he's just going to take the death here. Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but in this route, you just have less options to break things. Yeah, actually the Therian route, too, is going to be a little trickier. The one benefit of the Allure route is you have 2 people to summon who can use Flurry, as well as the second turn you also have 2 merchants to try. But, yeah, it happens. Xeno is still way ahead here. As long as his Matthias doesn't go sideways, I'm sorry, he will probably be the victor, but again, we'll see what the RNG says today. Again, as you can see, these Drakes just love to lower defense on the first turn or 2. That's what they do. Alright, that's an interesting strat. Okay, there we go. Now that they're broken, he can run and no problem. And doesn't even have to heal. Neo, on the other hand, doing his Mystery Man Shady Figure fight, and again, he is Therian, so he doesn't have to worry about any random will it lower defense, will it not. He can just have Therian, do his Armor Corrosive, and that's it. Yeah, this fight is free as long as you do the correct as long as you don't misclick, and which can happen, as I so fondly know about way too many times. Okay, so Xeno's starting up Ophilia 4, the final chapter. He's going to do his last shopping trip here. He's going to buy a couple grapes, and then he's going to basically sell off all the treasures he can, as well as the Black Staff, in an effort to get approximately 88,500 or more. You need that money for hired help, basically. There's just nothing around that. And Neo finishing up Ophilia 3 here. Interesting that he got the Soul Stone there. Because, yeah, he just started Ophilia 3 and then grabbed that Soul Stone there. That might have been a mistake. He probably forgot that you're supposed to get it later because it's definitely quicker to get it on the way to the dungeon. But not a huge time loss or anything. And here's the final dungeon in the... I'm not going to say the game, in the single-story Ophilia run. First screen is pretty safe as long as you don't wander around it anywhere. This next screen, you can get an encounter. Once again, it's not too common, but if it pops up, you're probably dead. Just once again, not much you can do. And then you're going to just do the save and quit one more time. And thankfully, Matthias has courteously left us 30K right south of him that we can grab, so we'll have enough 4 hired helps on him. It was sure nice of him to give us enough money so he could be killed, isn't it? Neo's going to head off to Chapter 4 now. Xeno taking another safety save here. Not a bad idea, especially with this route. Again, it doesn't take that much time to do the save, and then you save having to run down and grab that chest every time. No. I want to say, even if he dies once, he'll probably still be a little bit ahead, but that remains to be seen. Depending. These guys here, they're just another case of if it happens, there's nothing you can do. They can do what is called greater soul stones. And if they do 2 of them, you're gonna die. They did not, however, so he broke them. You can kill these with either 2 M's and a L or 2 L's. It's your choice depending on your soul stone count. Usually it's 2 L's and 2 M's and an L. Tressa duped that M, which might be important for the next Matthias. Probably not, as it's not rooted in, but it doesn't hurt to have. And then next is the only voice-acted fight in the game. We're not going to hear it here. If you want to hear that, you can watch the RPG Limit Break run from 2019. But yeah. So here comes Matthias, and the goal is to, well, win. Yeah. So this fight, Matthias is going to do 2 attacks. One is that dark attack thing, and the other is going to be a normal attack. And if it hits 2 characters, they're going to die. There's not much you can do about it. And one of the reasons 3-character routes are so much more dangerous is because of that factor. You have less characters, so he has less characters to target. And more likely the chance of getting what we call double tap. But he got through it. So in this first break, he's going to cast a couple reflective shields instead of healing, which effectively does the same, but it'll give him a little bit more damage. Once again, it's just a matter of getting as much damage as possible out. And meanwhile, Neo is coming up on Matthias's himself with the final save. Alright. See, as you can see, it does Reflective Veil is a nice ability. It does 0 damage and reflects it back, just like your classic Final Fantasy Reflect spell. Tressa duping the palm, probably not necessary at this point, but once again, Matthias is going to be broken, and they're going to use a couple more hired helps. And some soul stones for extra damage. And it's looking good. I am not 100% sure about the next turn here.
You should have studied harder.
Oh, he's down. So Xeno is going to be our winner. Congratulations, Xeno. And after 2 cutscenes, he's done.
なかなか考えがいがあるね。これでもどうぞ。
Hi,
Oh,
you're already on here, huh?
yeah, it sent me the invite earlier.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. You know what? I'm going to turn down this audio a little bit
甘く
more.
見たでしょ
Okay.
There we go. That should be better. It's a little loud. Okay, so you look like you had a really
もう
good
好
run
きに
there.
はさせません
Yeah, it was a pretty great run. There are a couple things that happened to me that never happened to me before, which maybe was visible from how much I hesitated on some of the bosses.
Yeah. Well, you died at Whistlewood, right? Once you got.
Yeah, I died. Yeah, I died one time there, but I got all those ants, so it was fine.
やら
I
れ
was
る
able
も
to
の
get
か
that part.
Yeah. Neo didn't die in Whistlewood, but he did the Therian route, so he got a lot. He took a lot of time, but he got really good at counter levels,
よし
which helped him.
これ
Okay.
を
Yeah,
He's on Matthias now.
Okay. The thing that happened that had never happened
Shoran-yo.
before was I could not break both of the dragons. That was incredible.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was unfortunate.
お金に金はつ
You
け
know,
ない
it
ぞ
happens. With you know, level 45 enemies when you're like level 13.
行きましょ
This game does not expect you to do anything but die there.
う皆さん
Yeah, it was pretty
お願いし
crazy.
ます
We see Neo just finishing up his Matthias. It looks like he's
これでもどうぞ
going smoothly. Once again, the Therian route, pretty much, as long as you don't get double tapped, you're gonna win. It's nice, honestly. But again, the route is slow, so you have to weigh how much you want to win against Matthias 100% versus.
皆さんお願いします
So, I actually can't remember anything particularly weird about your run other than you just having those 2 deaths. It
So
was a really clean run otherwise.
the other thing that I hadn't seen before was Cyrus missed one of his spears on Braltvitnir.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I had to forego the collect there, and then I had to get the collect later, which I pretty much never do, because you saw, like, I set up so that if I had to reset, I wouldn't have to go to the tavern.
Right, right. I saw you got the, what's it called? The safe route. But then you got the collect. Yeah, I noticed you hesitating a little. I wasn't sure if if you just derped for a minute or if that was actually part of, I didn't realize the collect wasn't part of rooted in there.
Missing that spear was not part of the plan, but it ended up being all right.
Yeah, I mean, again, you worked it out. That's always good. When you're speedrunning, you have to improvise, as you saw me not do yesterday.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of RNG in that run, so you have to
Right,
have a lot of
and
backups.
I want to say you got pretty good RNG in the fights themselves outside of that spear.
Absolutely. The
Yeah,
warrior
your
wart
Matthias
incredible.
Matthias was completely smooth. Mr. Man Shady Figure didn't give you. Are you here, Neo? Welcome. No, he's not in here yet. I apologize.
He's in the other one still.
I don't know if he's going to come in. He's waiting in the chat room.
I'm gonna tell him to come up real quick.
Any other thoughts right now?
Hello, maybe you hear me?
Oh,
Yep.
hi, Neo. So, you had first thing my thought was that you had really good encounter luck. Like in general, you didn't get any unfortunate encounters outside of just the normal, Whistlewood screwing you. But beyond that, You got maybe one or two of the dangerous screen encounters, but they were no problem because you could just run.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't get, you didn't die at all, I don't think.
I try to play really safe, but I have enough of random encounters. Bad encounters again on Whistlewood, and after I don't remember, maybe 3 more random encounter for have enough of AP to learn evasive maneuver.
I mean,
And the rest of the run was not so bad after that. Just one backup.
Xeno got. I don't think you got the exact same, but you both got all frogs. So you both had to deal with that, and that's pretty common, obviously. But yeah, you did the Therian route, which is nice and safe, but does take a little longer. So as anyone could see, even though you got better luck, it just took longer to execute because of the extra character, especially Therian, who you have to go quite out of the way for. So Xeno did manage to end up the victorious simply due to the routes, I want to say, because you both played very well and you both got pretty good RNG. But this is just the power of rooting, I guess.
Yeah, that safe route was not enough for this tournament.
Especially since there came so many more dangerous things came out
Yeah,
that are just a little bit faster. So yeah, I decided to go with a more dangerous route. I did a lot of safety stuff just to kind of mitigate some of the damage it could do.
right. Yeah, I noticed you, Xeno, you took the autosave in Saints Bridge. I was pondering doing that, but instead, what I just did is I just did the scoot after the first cutscene instead of after the second.
Yeah, I never buy the unerring bracelet, but if I can miss on Hrothvidnir, there's no way I'm hitting anything else. So I was like, I'm buying every safety I can.
Yeah, that's interesting because I've seen most people get the unerring bracelet there.
Yeah, I usually just YOLO. I saved before MMSF because I usually just kind of YOLO it and hope that I get the hits I need in the first 2 turns.
Right. Yeah. I mean, again, sometimes you get good RNG, sometimes you get bad. Yesterday I had a run going where I had pretty much fantastic RNG until Matthias just decided to say no. That was my practice run, not my tournament run. But yeah. So any other thoughts from you two?
No, I mean it was a good match. It was good playing against Neo. And I guess I'm coming for Enk next.
Yeah, Xeno is going to be fighting, going against Enkwolf, I'm sorry. As far as I know, no new matches have been scheduled, but I hope everyone stays tuned, watches all of the Speed Gaming channel so they can keep up to date on when the next match is going to happen. But yeah, we have eight players left now, officially. Actually, you know what? Let's see. So, officially, we have 8 players left. Round 3, 4 matches. Ina Karma versus Zero. Magmar versus Pola Scroot. Xenosync versus Enkwolf. And Unavari Drake versus Lost Core. Should be interesting to see what ends up happening.
With the amount of RNG, it's kind of anybody's match. There's a little bit of execution differences, but anything could happen.
Of course. Again, routes, and some routes are safer than others. I mean, I don't know if Magmar, for instance, is going to keep doing his Trestless route, or if they was just for that match. He might change it up, so that'll be interesting to see, as a for instance. And yeah, this is definitely turning out to be a very. What's very interesting is most of the matches have been really close. I think that's been definitely helping the, hype around this tournament so far.
Absolutely.
So I guess if you guys don't have anything else to say, we are done. Any final words?
Thanks everybody for watching, and stay tuned for additional races.
Yeah. Neo?
See ya.
All right. Well, see y'all. Good. Thank everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. We will be back when we will be back. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.